Hello, 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 and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening every Thursday, sometimes at 4 o'clock, sometimes a little earlier at 3, sometimes a little later, but usually around 4 o'clock Eastern time. So welcome, everyone. This is the show where we come together to raise our frequency, to live intentionally, and to create the version of ourselves that matches our highest timeline. How's that for an intention, right? Well, happy new moon. Today is the new moon in Scorpio. We've got all kinds of planets in Scorpio. This is a very intense time, and we're in Mercury retrograde, so things are crazy. Well, I shouldn't say crazy. Things are intense. And so, and plus we're getting ready for Thanksgiving next week. There's just so much happening, and this is why it's important to take time to go within, to center ourselves so that we're not like a boat on the ocean bouncing around by the storm. We want to be in the eye of the storm, the eye of the hurricane, not in the chaos. So I am streaming to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and you can comment. So throughout the show, please comment, ask questions, tell me where you're watching from. I always love to know that. And so let's get into it. So we first want to talk about the new moon. As I said, we have a new moon in the sign of Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio, so I'm very comfortable with the Scorpionic energy, because that's who I am. And we've also, the sun is in the sign of Scorpio. This is a Scorpio season. So Scorpio has to do with depth and truth and soul level clarity. This energy helps us see what's been hidden, especially in relationships and in our purpose. Scorpios are very intense people, and Pluto is the planet that rules Scorpio. It used to be the planet of Mars, but then when they discovered Pluto became that planet, that ruler of Scorpio. So Pluto is the planet of transformation, and Mars is a planet of passion. So Scorpio has to do with transformation, rebirth, intimacy, emotional intensity, and uncovering truths. So today is the new moon, and it actually happened at 1:47 a.m. this morning, Eastern time. And in 2 weeks, we'll have another full moon. So it's always in 2 weeks segments. We're going from a new moon to a full moon, or from a full moon to a new moon. And so we're at the very beginning of the cycle, which is very exciting. And as I said, Mercury is retrograde. So if you haven't been feeling it, I'm surprised, because it's been very intense. And, everyone feels it at different levels. It also depends on what you are expecting, because we get what we expect. So if you're putting out fear, or you're fearful of something, then you're going to kind of attract that energy. But if you just know, okay, this is the time to go within, the time for anything with re in it, revisiting, re-energizing, reviewing, anything with re in it. So Mercury retrograde, it went retrograde November 9th, and it goes direct on the 29th of November. So most of November, we've been in Mercury retrograde. So this brings us a strong theme of revisiting beliefs and deep rethinking of the truth, and exploring hidden meanings. So it's very interesting how a lot of the things in our society, especially the Epstein files, and other hidden things, are coming up to the surface, and expect more of that to happen. So I'm really curious what's going to happen today on the new moon, because we're in such intense energy. So let's see, what else can I tell you? So, the retrograde energy reminds us to pause, reflect, and revise. So this is a great time to revise our goals, especially on this new moon. New moons are usually great for starting new things, but because we've got so many planets in Scorpio, we've got Mercury retrograde happening, this is all a time to really go within and, revise our goals and kind of get ready for the new year, because this year, 2025, numerologically adds up to a 9, which is the end of a cycle. The cycles go from 1 to 9. And then 10 is a whole new up level, a whole new, octave of, 10 through 19. So this is for all of us. We're all going through this, no matter what your astrological sign. So, we want to pause, reflect, and revise before we move, rather than going full speed ahead. So that's what's happening with the Mercury retrograde. And now let's talk, there's, we have different planets and everything has an energy and it affects all of us, right? And so the cosmic energies that are out there with these planets, astrology is the science of the art and science of determining the energies of these different planets and everything. So what's really interesting is that we've got this 3-eye atlas, and I've been following this to try to kind of understand the meaning kind of behind it. Here's an image picture. Let's see, make it a little bit bigger for you. This is from the telescope that's in Italy, and this was from November 11th. So it's not the brand new one. There are some pictures that NASA just came up with that have 3-eye atlas. But what's really interesting is that, 3-eye atlas, even though it got that name because of the telescope and location. It's, number one, it's a third interstellar object that's come through our solar system, meaning it's external. Most of the other comments, I believe, are from our solar system. So this is coming from outside our solar system and passing through. And as it's passing through, it has an energy, right? And so this energy is being put out, ahead of it, or as it's, just all around. It's similar to us. We are all energetic beings. We have an aura, we have a field, energetic field. And that energetic field, we're in control of, but it also influences other people. So that the idea of, how we, if you're around a person that's really happy, that tends to lift your spirits. If you're around a person that's really negative and a Debbie Downer, that lowers your vibration. So same thing with objects. Every object, everything has an energy to it, and that energy influences its field or where it's around. So this interstellar object is coming through our solar system and bringing a new energy. And what's really interesting, 3-eye, reminds you of your third eye. Our third eye is our seat of intuition and vision, right? And our connection, through the crown chakra with our higher selves, with spirit, with the central sun. And Atlas, with the myth of Atlas, he carried the world on his shoulder. So if you put that together, think of what it means for you. But our third eye and the world, like Atlas, he lifted up the world. So it's like opening up our third eye to lift up the vibration of the planet, or at least that's kind of like the conclusion I'm coming to. This interstellar object, 3-eye atlas, will be the closest to the Earth on December 19th, which is just a couple of days from the winter solstice. And so, some people are, approaching it from fear. Some people are approaching it from curiosity. Some people are approaching it from, positive expectation of good things. So depending on what filter or what you expect, this is more than likely the kind of experience that you'll have with this energy as it passes through and passes by us. And I do want to share some notes, because there's this great, and I'll put the link right here. This is a tiny URL. Kelly Kalogny, she channels Archangel Raphael and other energies as well. And she did a interview with Pam Gregory, who's the astrologer from England, she gave this message from Archangel Raphael about, and it's on the podcast called Just Tap In with Emilio Ortiz. Anyway, so the way to get to that link is just go right here, but I have some notes that I got from it. So Pam Gregory and Kelly Kalagny were the guests on the show, and they had some points that came through from this discussion that they had. And so I want to share some of these with you. They're talking about cosmic awakening and gestation. They said that humanity is in a sacred period of evolution. Kelly Kalagny highlights that the Holy Womb Code and the 55 light codes are activating our DNA and our light bodies. While Pam Gregory, she frames the 3i Atlas as a cosmic choice point, offering a doorway for collective awakening. So I thought that was very interesting. Another point they made in their discussion was about frequency, alignment, and integration. They both said and emphasized that raising our vibration and aligning with higher energies is important. Kelly talked about plasmic star energies and telepathic expansion, while Pam stressed heart coherence and embodying the incoming frequencies of 3i Atlas rather than merely observing them. So embodying that energy rather than just observing it, keeping it away from it, kind of bring that energy in, because the energy that a lot of psychics are picking up from this object are very positive and very loving. And even some of the colors that they were seeing, the greens, is the heart chakra. So that has been very interesting. The other point from their talk was that transformation in human consciousness, that this 3i Atlas that's coming in is a catalyst for our human evolution, right? Our consciousness. And so the message is the same. They're both saying that we are birthing a new reality. Kelly describes a shift toward new capacities and multidimensional awareness through Raphael's guidance. And Pam calls 3i Atlas a multidimensional messenger, inviting humanity to consciously co-create a higher paradigm of existence. So I really resonated with this particular message, and I'm still researching and looking for other people's understanding of this so that I can understand and be able to talk about it with you. So again, go to tinyurl.com/GVTV Raphael message, and you'll can see the whole show that they did on Emilio's podcast. So I wanted to share that with you because I thought it was just really good. Let's move into UFO and UAP disclosure. So the big news is that we've got this Age of Disclosure movie that's coming up. It's actually premiering tomorrow on Amazon Prime. You can order the movie. It's like $24.99. There's like 34 different people from the government exposing what's been happening. And it's supposed to basically be a big reveal. And let's see. Let's share. I'm going to share the movie. A little clip from the movie. So you can see the trailer. And if you haven't already gotten it, I'm going to talk a little bit later about the watch parties that the Citizens for Disclosure are putting out there. But check this out. This is the trailer for the movie Age of Disclosure that comes out tomorrow.
The American people are ready to receive the truth.
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe.
Humanity is not the only intelligent species.
We are absolutely not alone.
Non-human intelligence exists.
UAPs are real, they're here, and they're not human. I spent 25 years as a senior official with the CIA.
I worked on highly classified UAP programs.
28 years as an astrophysicist.
I served as the 4th Director of National Intelligence.
Director of Aviation Security in the National Security Council.
A one-star admiral after 32 years of service.
People that come forward with this, I feel like they've taken their life in their own hands.
I was recruited to a highly sensitive government program that investigated unidentified aerial phenomena.
For over 16 years, on behalf of the U.S. government, I worked as a senior intelligence official on the unidentified aerial phenomenon topic.
We learned that the U.S. government was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans.
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
So look at that thing. It's rotating. There's a whole fleet of them.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination?
This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
This is so secret, very, very few people in our entire government have been allowed access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis, but that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
You better be careful about a government that doesn't trust its people, because there's no telling what they'll pull on you.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species.
It has so many beneficial impacts, including clean energy.
We should have disclosure today. We should have disclosure tomorrow. The time has come.
What else you want to know?
So it's actually going to be tomorrow on the 21st on Prime Video. You can watch it. Now, Age of Disclosure is also, there are watch parties happening all over the country. Yeah, I think even in other countries. And this is being done by the Citizens for Disclosure. So let me put that up there. And there's a way that you can, let me see where the link is. Register for a watch party. You can actually find, there's going to be the live screening of this in LA, New York, and DC in an actual theater. And so go to this website, the AOD Watch Party, Age of Disclosure Watch Party, and you'll be able to actually go and see the film, in a theater. So that is really great. And there's also watch parties that the different Citizens for Disclosure are having both in person and virtual. So go to this website to find out where near you there might be a watch party, or if there's a virtual watch party that you can see. The other thing that's going to be happening on this Saturday, on the 22nd, there's going to be a live Zoom question and answer session with Danny Sheehan, who's the president of the New Paradigm Institute, which kind of oversees the Citizens for Disclosure arm, which is the grassroots volunteer part of it. And the way you can get to this Zoom, this will take you right to the Zoom. This is 2:00 this Saturday, Eastern time, tinyurl.com/AOD and then Sheehan. That'll take you directly to the Zoom. So that's really exciting that we'll get some feedback from Danny, because he is, he's talking to all the people that know what's happening. He is the source, I would say, of what's happening. So now I want to share with you a clip from, let's see, Bashar. Now, I don't know if I think I've talked about Bashar before. Bashar is an ET being that gets channeled through Daryl Anka. And he's been around for a while. I think he's based out of, or does a lot of things in Sedona. But there was this really cool clip where he talks about, Citizens for Disclosure. So I thought this was something that I wanted to share about. He was talking about the government disclosure and this kind of thing. So check this out. This is Bashar channeled through Daryl Anka.
Because this is still the time of choosing. However, if you look for it, you will also see signs in the opposite direction of positivity. So the idea is to pay attention to things like congressional hearings in your own country here in the United States, where they are now exploring things like the existence of extraterrestrials and UFOs and being more open about the idea and willing about the idea to listen to different people's experiences and encounters with extraterrestrials and UFOs without ridiculing them, without endangering their careers, that's a sign of extraterrestrials working behind the scenes with government officials to allow for congressional hearings to occur that will be more openly commenting and communicating and talking about the idea that extraterrestrials and UFOs do exist. So those kinds of things are the signs that extraterrestrials are working behind the scenes. There are also many extraterrestrials working within what you call the United Nations and in many different countries, again, opening the doorways to sharing information with the idea of the existence of extraterrestrials. And also, you are seeing some evidence of the advancements in things like medicine, genetic engineering, things like that, that will be used in the next decade or so to mitigate many different kinds of conditions and diseases on your planet. So while it may, to some degree, seem subtle at the moment, it's just that the idea of the negative side is so much more blatantly obvious that it can, to some degree, obfuscate the positive side and the positive work being done behind the scenes, because it is still behind the scenes. Therefore, it will leak out more and more. You will start to see more and more evidence of what's going on behind the scenes, up to and including the moment of open contact. And from that point forward, things will start to shift, where those who have been perpetrating the idea of negativity will start having their own negative reactions, and some of which may decide to have more positive responses to the presence of extraterrestrials. But from that point forward, it will start to accelerate, where what has been done behind the scenes can now be done in front of you, in front of your face, and you will see a great acceleration happening over the next couple of decades from that point forward.
So that was Bashar. And yeah, I'm really digging his teachings, and we'll be learning more about him and sharing that information with you. So let's talk about Disclosure Dialogue. So there's another program that I host called the Disclosure Dialogues, Voices from Citizens for Disclosure, where I interview different Citizens for Disclosure state leaders. And this particular episode that I did, episode number 4, featured 3 different experiencers, three different people that had different kind of ET contact experiences. Very interesting, and you can watch the replay here, tinyurl.com/disclosure dialogue 4. And so check that out. And so again, Citizens for Disclosure, one of the state leads is Dr. Melanie Barton, and she's actually hosting something very special in 2 weeks. And there's a few openings left if you're interested. So it's a CE5 retreat in Tallahassee from December 5th through 7th. It's a Friday kind of afternoon, evening through Sunday. And it's at her house in Tallahassee. She built this fantastic house, and I'll be there, and I'll be sharing, videotaping it, but has a flat roof, and it's in the shape of a circle, and it's on sacred Indian land as well. So Dr. Barton is hosting the CE5 retreat. If you don't know what CE5 is, there's CE1 through CE5, and what it means is contact, oh gosh, now I'm forgetting CE1, a contact experience of the 1st through 5th kind. And this means with extraterrestrials. So CE5 is actually when we are reaching out to the ETs and ask our star family to communicate with us. So we're initiating that contact, versus CE4 is like abduction. CE3 is where you see, entity or UFO, and you have physical evidence of it. CE2, I believe you have the ET see a ET a UFO or something, and you feel or see have experiences from it. Versus CE1 is just seeing it, but no interaction, just observing it. So I talk about that in the this particular disclosure dialogue. So check that out. So if you're interested in this, email drmelaniebarton@gmail.com. She will be able to let you know, you can come just during the day for the retreat. There's going to be different meditations. There's a channeling by Kevin Brinks of the Council of Eight. And it's really going to be fantastic. So you can spend the night overnight. She has places like where you can have a cot there. She provides the cots. You have to bring your own bedding. Or you could just come for the day or the daytime or stay at a hotel, whatever it is. But check it out, call or email drmelaniebarton.com because we are getting close and I believe she has a few openings left. All right. So, disclosure is not just about UFOs. It's about consciousness and it's about human evolution. And it's learning to live in coherence rather than in fear. So the more we expand our awareness, the more empowered we are. And, the more empowered and more peaceful and connected we become. And so that's why our community matters so much. And let's now get into the Oracle of the Month. So I don't have my second camera today, so I'm going to have to do it all with this one camera. And this month we have been playing with the Inner Temple Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. And I really like this deck. It comes with this really cool box where you can put the card in there and set it on your altar. And inside here, and I'm going to read this before we pull the cards. Let's see, like that. This is the Inner Temple Oracle Attunement. So I'm going to read it and then we'll pick a card and see what our message is today on this beautiful new moon. I activate and step into my inner temple now, portal of my heart, home of my soul. Through the portal of my heart, I connect with my inner temple. Through each of my body's senses, I connect to my inner temple. Sacred below me, sacred above me, sacred around me, sacred within me. I activate the wisdom and power that has always been deep within. May these cards deliver clear messages and reflections to me and all who use them for the highest interest of all. I am guided, I am led. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let me shuffle and, just find out what we need to know on this particular new moon and see what message Spirit has for us. So let's see what card we get. Chamber of Inspiration. I'm just going to hold that there while I find the there we go. I'll just put the card there. Hopefully you can see it. And my green screen kind of messes things up a little bit. But hopefully, how do I do this? There we go. Chamber of Inspiration. This is the card of divine inspiration. This is the card of divine inspiration and creativity. Your ideas are divinely guided, and you're being encouraged to follow those sparks of inspiration from within. There are creations that are beckoning to be born. Co-create with life and bring them into form. What's inspiring you right now, and how can you follow that inspirational trail? We are creative beings living in a creative world. Life itself is creative, and it's always creating every moment of every day. And because you're part of life, you're always creating too. Many people believe that they're not creative, but to be alive is to be creative. To create is to put things together for something new to be born. A moment earlier, that creation didn't exist, and then all of a sudden, the dream is realized. What an amazing thing creativity is. This card can be a confirmation to tend to those seeds of inspiration you've become aware of. It could indicate an exciting new creative project or a period of wonderful creative expression. Tend the seeds of inspiration that are budding and blooming within you. The soul longs to create. The moment you feel stuck, trapped, or captive, you cut yourself off from spirit and creativity. When you feel free and allow yourself time and space to play and for your inner child to roam free, inspiration will bubble up from within. What inspiration have you had recently? What ideas have been beckoning you forth? This card is encouraging you to trust your inspiration and your imagination. To act on the inspiration, your creations are inviting you to bring them into form. I really like that. Yeah, it is so important to play, to be in touch and tap into the inner child because, and when we're kids, we're having art projects and all kinds of things in school. And this is something that, is really important to get the creative juices. But I loved how it said that life, we're a part of life. We're a part of the creation. We are creating because we are sparks of God and chamber of inspiration. I love that. So what a cool card. And I've been feeling that creative urge too. So I went to the store, went to Hobby Lobby and bought some paints and watercolors, and I'm going to start creating, because that opens up our creative side is the right side of the brain. And that's the creativity. And that's just how we connect to spirit too, on the right side of the brain versus the left side, which is more the logical male aspect. The right brain is more the feminine, intuitive, creative. So that is the message from the Oracle of the Month. And let's now talk quickly about some spiritual activism. There's all kinds of things happening in the world, and there's positive action that you can actually take if you are feeling led to do this. And one big thing that's happening this weekend on 11/22 on Saturday, there is a Remove the Regime peaceful protest in DC. This is started by Jessica Denson, and she's been, fighting over what's been happening with our presidential office. But this movement has been growing and growing. And I want to share my screen here. How can I do this? Where is it? Here we go. This is Remove the Regime on 11/22. You can go to that website. So let me make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. So we, the people, mean business. Our presence is our power, and this time we're showing up with firm demands and intend to change history. Remove the regime is the movement we've been waiting for. So this actually started, I think, with the 50-51 protest back in February. So this is not a 50-state protest. On November 22nd, they're going to peacefully descend on the seat of power in Washington, D.C. to demand that this lawless administration come to an end. We will no longer tolerate inaction or delay from elected officials as Donald Trump commits actual treason. We are calling out their complicity in the sabotage of American democracy unless and until they honor their oath. We are demanding impeachment and removal, and we are demanding it now. So they're going to start, they start today on this new moon, Thursday, November 20th, with lobbying Congress directly. And they have veterans as part of the group, artists, pastors, farmers. I guess the Dropkick Murphys will headline their main event on Saturday. And so they say we will have fun, but this is not for fun. We intend to change the trajectory of this country and the conversation around the world. We can only do this if we show up in the numbers that are too big to ignore. So take your place in history. Join us at the Remove the Regime. So I am, of course, not going to be near Washington, D.C. If I was, I would be there. There's a QR code that you can check out. But this is something I wanted to share because, there's Jessica Denson right there. She's got a YouTube channel as well. So Saturday at the Lincoln Memorial, that's where the main rally and march will start. And that's going to be, and I'm sure it's going to be live streamed. So let me also share now that there's an economic blackout that's happening. And this is from November 27th through December 1st. So this is from Thanksgiving to Cyber Monday, basically. And it's called We Ain't Buying It. And this is, I think, put on by the previous group. I can't remember their names now, indivisible.org. So let's check out their website here. It says, we ain't buying it. Pause on shopping for major companies that are enabling this administration. This Thanksgiving through Cyber Monday, let's make our dollars count. We're asking Americans to hit pause on shopping from major corporations. And they actually have targets. So they're not buying it from these target companies. So that includes Target, because Target has rolled back their DEI initiatives, which included ending programs that help Black employees advance, cutting financial support for Black-owned businesses, and removing LGBTQ plus products from their stores. So that's one target. The other target is Amazon. Amazon holds a monopolistic position in the market. It contributes to dangerous working conditions for its employees and drivers, and CEO Jeff Bezos has donated over $1 million to this administration. The other one is Home Depot. Home Depot is allowing ICE agents to illegally detain and kidnap laborers from their stores. The laborers in our communities are not able to look for work safely. So the way to participate in this is to just don't buy anything from Target, Amazon, or Home Depot during this week, from Thanksgiving to Monday, the Cyber Monday. Use the time and money to connect with those you love and rediscover what matters. Redirect your spending. Skip those big companies that are undermining democracy and shop small local businesses or with businesses that affirm our humanity. Join the movement, pledge to become a conscious consumer, amplify, share the word, share the message and conversation also online. They have a toolkit that you can do with media assets that you can download. So yeah, check it out. This is the website here, and I'll put the website again here. It's just weain'tbuyingit.com, and you don't need the www before it. So let me take that off the screen. And, the other thing that we can do, if you don't, and this, these peaceful protests, which is our First Amendment right in the United States, and if you don't use it, you lose it. So that's why, being part, if you're able to, these peaceful protests is so important to show, and if you feel led to going. I have gone to not any peaceful protests yet. They haven't been close enough for me to go to, but it's, if you can't go to a peaceful protest, you can, do it through your wallet and, choose where you're going to spend your money, because money is energy. It's where we put that money is who we're giving power to. So this is the power of the purse, and we do have this. And if neither of those things are something that you feel drawn to, meditate, daily, send light and love to the planet. Every day, 2:00 Eastern time is what Pam Gregory tries to get everyone to do, whatever that is in your time zone, for just 15 minutes, and love and light to the planet. I have a little timer that reminds me every day. If I'm able to, I do it, but just stop. You don't have to do anything special. Just send love and light from your heart to the planet, to the people, and just know that just energetically doing that, you're being a spiritual activist. Okay, so now let's talk about longevity with light. Let's see if I can get my graphic up here. So I can't bring it up. Okay. So Longevity with Light happened a couple of weeks ago, and it was a great program with Dr. Don Verhulst. He is an MD, but also turned into a naturopath. And tinyurl.com/LWL, terrific trio. He's talking about 3 different LifeWave patches that help the body restore itself. And so I've been doing these once a month since the beginning of the year, and there's actually a playlist you can check out. So I love the LifeWave patches. They're amazing. I've been seeing results in myself and my friends and family. So I want to share the things that work. And this is one of the things that it does. So I wanted to share that with you. And as we wind down, let's talk about the tip of the week to raise your vibration. So last time I had a show, because I did skip last week. Last time was to practice a full moon meditation. This was 2 weeks ago, and I shared a little link here for that particular full moon meditation. Now, hopefully you did that. It was really great meditation. This week's tip of the week is to practice a new moon meditation. So I know I'm focusing a lot on new moons, or the different moons and doing meditation, but the reason why is because this time with the Mercury retrograde and all these planets in Scorpio, it really is important to go within to find that peace. And I love these guided meditations on YouTube. I love to use them because it does help you to focus versus doing just a silent meditation where your mind goes crazy. When you're able to focus, give your brain something to focus on, that really helps. So tinyurl.com, capital GVTV 1125 New Moon Med is the link there. And it's a Lisa Watley, a different person that does this particular meditation. It's very good. So check it out. And I just, meditation, this is where you get your answers. All the answers are within. You just got to take the time to do it. So my friends, I want to, thank you for being with me today and showing up for yourself and for choosing the Good Vibes lifestyle. May your week be blessed, aligned, guided, and full of magic. And until next time, stay in your joy, trust your wisdom, and keep your frequency high. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone.